Hey everyone, this is alexusadays, and we're continuing Python for quality assurance. Today we're going to talk about Python lists. So a list in Python is an ordered collection of values. Lists are important in QA because tests often deal with multiple values at once. You can have status codes, test users, inputs, response values, expected results, everything stored in lists. For example, we have here a collection of status codes stored in the status codes variable. Key properties of lists. So lists are ordered. Items have a fixed position. They have indexes. They're mutable, so items can be changed after creation. They're flexible, so they can store multiple values in one variable. The list can store multiple values in one variable, and Python even allows mixed types in the same list. But in QA test code, it's usually better to keep lists consistent. One list for status codes that will store integers, and one list for users that would store strings. So validation is simpler and less error prone. Lists store values in a specific order. Each value has an index starting from 0. For example, we have a list of users here where admin, guests, and testers are stored in the users. Users 0 is admin, users 1 is guests, and users -1 would be the last value in the list. That would be tester. You can get the number of elements in the list using len command. So len users will give you 3 as a total number of elements. Unlike strings, lists are mutable. This means we can change existing values, add new items, remove items. Python also provides useful list operations. For example, with lists of status codes, we can check if values exist. So for example, we can if statement and say if 500 is in status codes, to get a value returned true or false if it's present there. We can do sorting values using .sort. So the list itself is going to be modified, not a new list created, and it will be modified permanently. So if your list is out of order, it will store your indexes in ascending manner, so from the lowest to highest. Selecting values based on conditions, we can build a new list by looping and appending. So we can go through a list, a loop through all of the values, and values match a specific conditions. We can then append those values to a new list and store them in a separate list and print it out. So now let's take a look at the actual code. Okay, so for this, I'm going to create new Python, and let's name it lists underscore in Python. New file with the examples. Add it to Git. Yeah, sure. Add it. So let's start with a list. So status codes. Status codes is something that you receive when you send a request, API request. When your website talks to the backend, the API would send one of those status code confirming if they're successful or not. So here we got a bunch of them recorded. Let's also make sure that they're not ordered. So we'll have 201, then 200, then 500. And then we will have 400. So this list, if you look from a value of ascending or descending, this is unordered. Theoretically, if we would have this order, 200 should be first, but we have 201 first. So we're going to just print whole list. So print status codes, and let's run this. So right click, run. Hey, we see the list is coming back in the same order as it's stored in the status code variable. 201, 200, 500. All right, so that's your regular list. Also mixed lists, mixed types are allowed. So if we take a look at the mixed list here, 1, 2, and 3, print it out. So 1 is integer, 2 is a string, 2 is a boolean. So all of those types were stored. But again, for QA, if you can, you should create separate lists. If you store values in the list, then you can separate them. That would be a better. So try to avoid mixed types. So you would create a list for status codes that would be integers. You would for usernames that would be strings, and so on. Right. So let's create a usernames list, and we have admin, have guest, and let's have tester. So 3 user names. So 3 strings are stored in this. And we can just say print usernames. Let's see all the values being printed out. And if you want to be explicit, so say forward \n username names list colon, and separate by a comma, we insert user variable here. Let's print it. So now we will have a username printed out separate from the previous 2 lists. And we can access elements of the lists by index. The same way how would you access a separate character in a string, you can do the similar thing in the list. Print last username. So the first one is index 0 will be admin. The second one is index 1, guest. And then any last element in the list, however long the list is, if you want to grab the last one, you just -1. Run this. Now we have admin, guest, and tester. So we're accessing particular value in the list through its index position, right? We can also get the number of elements or get the length of the list using len. And it says we have 3 values in the username. Okay, good. We can do slicing. Same thing how we did with strings. So here we're grabbing first 2. We can grab last one. Print all except first. Right. So the first isn't excluded, the rest is printed out. Here we will grab the first and the second one. So the third one excluded because we don't include the last index. And then here we're just going to grab the last 2. So -1 is the last, -2 is the last 2. Print it out. So first 2 usernames, admin and guest. Last 2 usernames, guest and tester. And then all except the first one is guest and tester. Now we can remove items. So remove items from a list using pop. So what pop does, it actually stores the value being removed. So if you wanted to place in a variable, you can do that. So we can say removed value equals usernames. You just have pop without index provided, it will remove the last one. So that would be tester. But let's say we're going to provide index 1. And let's print removed value. Print value. And then also we're going to print the list after removing index 1. Run that. So we removed value guest. Take a look here. So 0, 1, guest got removed. And then we printed the list, admin, and user. So when you use pop, if you want to pop, let's say you want to remove a last one, right? You want to remove a last value from the list. You don't provide here anything. And then you want to know what was the last value. You can store it in the variable and then print it out. Again, and you can see that tester was removed, and this is the last value there. We can also remove items using del. So this is not a command delete del. If you want to remove the last one using del, just -1. The thing is with del, it's not going to store a variable. It's not returning anything. So it's just going to delete the variable from the list. And you can't store del in the variable. So if we'll try to do it, removed with del equals del username and then print, can do it. All right. But if we just remove it and then we're going to print the list after removing it, well, let's run it. Now we have only admin left. Why do we have only admin left? Well, because we did remove over here, we removed the tester, right, using the pop. Then this list has two variables, admin and guest. And now we remove the last one using del, and now we have a list only with one value left, which is admin. Okay, and we can also remove by a remove command using the value itself, not by index. So remove value from list using value itself, and this is a remove command, right? Suggest do that. So we have admin left, right? That's the last value in the list. We're now removing it. Let's run it. And you notice we don't remove it by index anymore. We provide the value itself. So it's the word admin. Run it. And now our list is empty. We just print the empty list out because we were removing items one by one from the list. And then now there's nothing left. We can also check if a value exists in the list. So how we can do this, we can say if 500 in status codes. So we're going to get to the if conditions later on. It's kind of foreshadowing on what's coming, but we can have an if. We're saying if a 500 is in status codes right here in this list, we will print 500 status code found. Let's run it. And you can see it's being printed out. I'm not sure why it's okay. It's complaining missing article. Okay, that's so we found value 500 in status codes using if in. We can also sort values. Sort values in a list. And when you sort, it doesn't create a new list, so the list itself is modified. So we're gonna sort not the usernames, we cleared out usernames, so we're gonna sort status code, and then we cannot really store it in a variable because it modifies a list itself, so it doesn't return anything. So now we're gonna just do status codes.sort, and when we look, print out this list right here. We're not storing it in any variable because there's no value return. Sorts the list itself. We're gonna get the sorted list back. So let's run it. We'll see 200, 201, 400, and 500. Whereas before, it was not sorted, right? Now it is. We can also select values list based on conditions. Now this is also kind of foreshadowed of what is coming, but let's do this. We're gonna have error codes stored in an empty list, so there's no error codes now. Then we'll say for code in status code, if that code is larger than or equal to 400, because 400 and 500 are error codes, then we will append those values into the error codes list, and then we will print the error codes. So we're not covering if in or for loops yet, or if statements, but we're gonna get there at some point. But with lists, like if you need to extract certain values, you can do that, and then you can store those extracted values. And so give it a run. Now we see that error codes 400 and 500s were actually saved in the error code. Okay, so this is it about the list. Let me just do git add and then git commit added lists. Push. So you can find the repo for this lesson in the description, but also it is right here. So GitHub alexusadays Python for. But I do suggest that you type things out, pause the video as you go along the video, just to practice. So this was alexusadays. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next.